Yeah, thanks for checking in. Doing a little update for the lat pull down on my garage gym rack. It's kind of a unique situation for some people because there's not a lot of people that buy the racks like this for their home gyms. At least not that are power lifters and stuff like I am. Um, I'm not competitive anymore. I'd like to get back into it, so let's just say that. And I'm getting over a pretty bad sinus infection and abscess, so I haven't done anything in probably 2 weeks at least. Just getting over it. So if I look all bad on camera, I'm sorry. Please don't rip me up too bad. I have one of the infinity racks that are folding to the walls. I ordered it probably 4 years ago, maybe 5. Fit my need for my garage and my small space that I have. I have a standard 2-car garage, but I have stuff in it. It can't be just a home gym. I work on cars, I work on bikes. We store stuff in here. I mean, it has to be everything. So I'll show you my setup. Okay, so here's my setup. Like I said, infinity rack. I've got it bolted using their stringer package. Plenty of bolts, top and bottom. I got the shorter one where it comes out the wall. It doesn't come out the full 43. It's like 20 something inches or something. I can't remember. I needed it to go fold flat in case I needed to bring a car or something else into this space so I can work. I'll just put everything up. Like I said, I got my golf cart. Yeah, there's a workbench. Must have my toolbox. I still do work around here. So, I had to come up with a solution, and this is the solution that works for me. It's a folding rack. When I ordered it from Rogue, because I know what I lift, I ordered these safety arms for it. Now, when I made the order, the guys from the manufacturer actually called me and said, "Sir, we highly do not recommend that. We don't recommend that at all." And they said, "You have a chance of, if you drop the weight, blah, 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 you have a chance of pulling it off of the wall." Which I completely understand. Yeah, I do. If I'm going to drop weight overhead and it hits the end of this thing, because it leverages out pretty good, you know, let's see. Got my tape measure here. You know, from this thing to the little lip, it's 20 inch. I completely understand that. You drop a bunch of weight, you know, say I'm squatting 500-600 pounds. I haven't done 6 in a while, but yeah, I can still squat 5. Drop it off your shoulder, boom. Or say you're benching, overhead pressing, whatever. If they're not adjusted right and you drop the shit out of it, I can see that and I understand that. And I explained to him what I was doing. I said, "Sir, I'm in the garage by myself. I'm not going to be able to have a home gym if I can't have safeties. So either help me come up with a different solution or, you know, what?" And explained how I work out, this and that, blah, blah, blah. We had a conversation, probably a good 10 minutes. This is 4 years ago. And guy understood and he goes, "Okay, we'll include them in your order." I said, "Thank you." And they've been working. I have plenty of videos. They work. I use them, adjust them up when I'm doing overhead pressing, standing overhead pressing, whatever. Work great. Allow me to do it safely without killing myself. When I'm benching, I put them where I can escape, so I can just lower the bar, throw it towards my head, turn my head, and I can get out from under it without killing myself. You know, good day, so, you know, 350, 400 pounds on a good day, you know. Or if it's a high rep day, I mean, you just go to freaking failure, I'm going to get out. I'm not going to kill myself in here with nobody being able to watch. So, and I was appreciative of them coming, you know, calling me and, well, first warning me, this is why we don't recommend it, blah, 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 and trying to come up with a solution. And we came up with my idea because they understood what I was doing. I wasn't some novice lifter at the time, or completely novice, brand new lifter, and wasn't planning on dropping it. I just wanted to be safe, do it as safe as I could. I even got the monolift attachments for the Infinity series, because the Infinity series is 2" by 3". So I had to get the Infinity, or the monolift arms for that. Here's my position that I put it on when I bench, and then I go up even higher when I'm squatting. Safeties are pretty much the exact same. Lift, out of the way, boom, something happens, just drop it. Or not drop it, let it down. So, this rack works for me and my situation. Now the problem comes in when I'm trying to do lat pull downs. The slinger doesn't exactly work for my setup. I have too much, the way I set it up, there's too much here, too much room. I can't mount it the way I have. I can't mount it, so boom, and it's all out here. I don't have room for a weight stack, obviously, in this section. So I came up with the DIY thing. I got a couple of pulleys. I went through a couple different designs. I tied it onto this crossbar that came stock with it. Went to Home Depot or Lowe's, I can't remember about this. Bought some cable, made my own cable, tie this up, bought my own pin, loading pin, and want to do a lat down, pull down or whatever. It works. Only problem is I can't get really up under it, so everything's like more like a face pull, and I have the weight swings. So I had to come up with a new solution. I actually had a buddy of mine, he was going to give me his setup. Now his setup was going to be completely bolt on as far as the lat pull down part. It would incorporate 2 pulleys. I'd have to bolt the thing together, and then if I wanted to pull it, my thought was using hitch pins to make it removable from the rack itself. But the cross beam and the lat pull down part were going to be mounted together completely, and which was fine if I ever take it down. I haven't folded this thing in probably 3 years. It pretty much stays like that. And then the cable is tied up there. You know, my one little pulley is tied up there. So I just fold the cable over and I go through my workouts every day. So I came up with a new solution. With his thing, I was going to do it. Put 2 pulleys, how I wanted it. So it'd be less swing, and I would be able to get up under the weight and have weight going up and down, not swinging, and not at my feet crushing my toes. That fell through. But when I called Rogue, when I called the manufacturer to make me a custom crossbar, I was kind of hoping it would be in the 2 by 3 for the distance I needed. I said I need it, but my spacing is 43 inch. Hold on, let me. Yeah, 43 inches of width. I needed them, and did it a text, the little chat box, and I said, can you make me one? Is there a way to have it make one? And through their little chat, they said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to mount a lat tower to it, or some pulleys. And the only answer I could get was, we don't recommend that. And I told them, I said, I realize that you don't recommend that. I kind of went through this process 3-4 years ago when I ordered the rack for my safety equipment and my other equipment that I bought in for this thing. And I fully understand that. But can you do it? A little bit back and forth, a little bit back and forth. And he said, we'll get with our engineer. So I waited. 2 days later, I got a response. It was a copy of my chat, full copy of my chat, and all it said is, we don't recommend that. And that was the end of the email. Well, I don't like being told I can't do something. You know, unless somebody's got a valid, shows me why I can't. And it makes sense. Now, I fully understand, depending on how far away you come from the wall, you have a chance. Weight, blah, blah, blah. You're going to pull it off the wall. You have a chance. I understand that. That's why this is not the setup for everybody. This is the only setup that I can have in my garage at this point, because my garage is too small for what I want and everything. So, we came up with something else. After being mad, I did some digging. I went on their site, and they actually make something. Hold on, let me show you. Okay. Manufacturer sells these in pairs, which is kind of funny. It's from the Monster series, 3x3 boxed. But the best part is, it's at the width I need for 145, which fit perfectly in between my uprights. I have a feeling that what they didn't like, because I didn't know how to describe the setup I said that I was going to add. I said, it's kind of like this new surplus strength one. And then I think that's when the conversation shut down. So, when mine fell through, my made up one that my buddy built, I said, screw it. I'm just going to order the surplus strength one. Which is exactly what I bought. 5/8 inch holes. I got the aluminum pulleys upgrade. The quality is awesome. And it's exactly going to fit what I need. Those guys were very helpful. Their customer service was awesome. And a week later, after I ordered it, I got it. So what I did was I got to work. I already got it sort of set up. I picked which bar I wanted out of the two. As you can see, I already put top. It needs to go to the wall. And these pins I ordered were a little too long. Now you can save yourself a lot of money, and I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings. And even with surplus strength ones, you can order these. They're extra for $39 a pair, almost $40. These pins come this big with these pins already, which is fine, for $7 a piece. And they're obviously too long. Ones that surplus strength has, yes, great quality, already set up, don't have the little plastic over it or rubber over this. They're already flat, really nicely well made, very nice clips, quick pins, which I like, but I can deal with that. Make it a little bit more tighter and safer. I ordered when I was there at Ace. I picked up a bunch of 5/8 fender washers that fit perfectly on here and on this one. Now I'll try to find the footage where I actually cut these down and maybe add a little bit. Added some holes to make it tight with using the fender washers. But we got a box of 25 of these 5/8 fender washers for $12.49 at Ace Hardware. And my plan is, there's a sort of test fitted already. I'm going to remove the bar and put this thing in there. And then it will be removable if I want it to remove it. And then I will be able to fold my rack up against the wall if I need to bring in extra car or whatever, or I'm working on a couple of bikes or whatever, and I just need the space. So let me put that in. made it so there's minimal movement through it. It's not going to shake. I don't have a full machine shop here, so I couldn't make the pins exactly the same. When I tested it, it was down here, and I'm sure it's not completely straight. So there's some tolerances are a little off a little bit, but I use the fender washers to get the gaps so there's no side-to-side movement, which can be detrimental if you're racked, like even if you have a full rack, 4-post, 6-post, whatever. It can shake, hurt you when re-racking, all that kind of stuff. I don't need that. So this does not move at all. The pins, the cotter pins are right up to it. There's no shaking. It's perfectly level or square, and that's how I set it up. Now it comes with some decent carabiners and wet, and they make a cable for you. It's a nice ball end. I haven't pulled it out, but you measure. When I had it up, you measure top height of your bar to the floor, and then they make a custom cable for you. They do recommend you put the cable on before you put this thing on, which that's what I'm gonna do. Just gotta remove this, lay the cable over, it goes on top. So even if you have your rack is close to your ceiling, you're only gaining about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more. So if you have that much room, you can use this one. So let's put the cable in. These little barrels to protect it from the cable from these threads are extremely tight when you put them in, even loosely. So what I'm doing is just shaving the ends down a little bit so they will roll like this. And then that way it will minimize any kind of damage, possible damage to my cable. I'm just doing it with a little file, just a little bit, just enough. I'm kind of anal about things, so. Also be using blue Loctite on these, so I don't have to smoke them down and then not have it where this rolls. End result. You're already gonna have the cable on there. Now it comes with these nice, pretty nuts, and I think I lost this one. So luckily I have spare parts. I'll probably call them and see if I can get another one, or I'll just find out what this is and get it from Amazon. That's not their fault, that's mine. I think I threw it out. I was excited when I got this in the mail yesterday. Also be using blue Loctite on these, so I don't have to smoke them down and then not have it where this rolls. All right, so as you can see, it's in. Fits on there. Pretty tight. Have enough room back there from weight, and I can even get up under it if I wanted to do behind the neck. And it's all done with hitch pins. I gotta fix my fan, but that's about it. Well, that's pretty much my complete setup. Now I can do lat pull downs and do some more back work. Hope this helps somebody. If you're thinking about ordering it, it was well worth the price. Caveat: if you wanted to do something a little bit more permanent on your own rack, and you just wanted to make your own, this would be pretty easy. Okay, these two monster crossbars that I bought, I'm already drilled. Got plates, so if you wanted to, you could cut it to whatever length that you needed, bolt it in the other one using 5/8 hardware, however you wanted it to have custom links. I mean, hell, you could have it, you know, cut it on this, and then you could have this much lever, and then your weight on this end. But then basically you cut it, have your crossbar going here, bolt the other one there, boom, run the 5/8 bolts, and these rollers and setup you can get off of Amazon. You can get the plastic ones. They still work good. I just wanted the aluminum. I figured I'd splurge on those. Get the hardware you need. It's not that difficult to center it. You'd have to make this style relief cut in the bar itself. So you could definitely do that. Here's a guide. Just cut that piece out. If you cut it right here, you know, cut that part out. When you flip it to the center, run the pulley. I'd recommend at least a 3-inch pulley. And I'll show you why. And then run the bolt with a barrel to keep it on there. You know, so when you're pulling out or whatever, the cable stays in the groove. And you want a 3-inch cable or a bigger one, I mean a pulley, because this little DIY setup that I had has a really small one. From the cable that I ordered or bought, cut the length from Lowe's, Home Depot. It's a really nice cable. It is. Plastic coated and everything. But the small pulley ends up cutting into this plastic sheathing when you start adding a bunch of weight on it. So I don't know if that's because it's too narrow, too much of a pinch point, I don't know. But so that's gonna go. That's just gonna be my pull-up bar when I need to. And now I have it. Thank you, Surplus Strength. You made one hell of a product. On a side note, what I might do for this is use this as my lower bar, because I think I'm going to order the lower pulley attachment later, and that way I can do seated rows. I don't need to do them, but as soon as I got the bar, I can do it. But if you're going to make your own out of one of these, which is completely doable, you just got to measure top height to the floor, all right, and then also add in the distance that you're going to come across to the two pulleys. And then that way you can custom create your own cable. I really do like these cables. I wish I would have put the balls on when I made my own cables. Those are nice.